I think it's that inner battle, the turmoil of a manager is saying, we've been playing so well. I don't want to change something and have it go the opposite way and have that adverse effect. And it could easily do that, because then you change the rhythm, that player loses possession. Next thing you know, it's in the back of that, especially against a team like England when you have so many different weapons. And you got to worry about Marcus Rashford. And he's a player that is so different than Harry Kane and Raheem Sterling and even Bukayo Saka, because he is just all about verticality and he runs, which I think he should have started or at least come on at half, because Harry Kane didn't look like himself. He looked like that ankle was bothering him. Yes, I think he still should have made substitutions earlier. I would have liked to see. I kept saying, all right, Haji Wright, he did his thing, but it wasn't effective. Come off and get Aronson or Ryna on the pitch earlier, because we needed one more playmaker, one more midfielder who was comfortable on the ball, and I felt like that could have been the breakthrough. And if Weah played the 9, people are saying, I see, man, he's so good on the wing. He's so good at serving and crossing. Who's he crossing to?
Yeah.
So he can still cross too as the 9, because he makes a run into the channel. Late run from Weston McKennie out of midfield. We saw that he finds the right spots. He knows how to find those gaps. Christian Pulisic, he comes in as well on crosses. But it's just got to be, I think, more players, more options who can score or who can create goals, because right now the 9 is not doing it for us.
I got to say, guys, you guys get lit up with passion on these post-game shows that you're eating up all the airtime, and I appreciate that. I love these. I love these monologues. But look, I think we all agree that this was a really, really good performance from the U.S. in a lot of ways.
So good.
However, in the context of that, we scored 0 goals and we left it on a point. We now have gone through 2 games that we could be on 6 points. We're sitting on 2. So to put our critical hat on, right, of this game, we had some chances. We didn't finish them. It's not about being more clinical, so to speak. Yes, that is part of it. But it is just about finishing or a moment of brilliance. We now had that collective performance this one. But now we need to have individual players maybe step up or rise to the occasion. Do you think that's a worry heading into Iran? Because I don't want to change the narrative into being negative, but we do need to be critical of the fact that this was another game where there was 3 points available for us. Yes, it's surprising, and yes, we're happy because it's against one of the favorites of the tournament. But the same thing against Wales, that was our 3 points, and we gave up 2. Now we gave up 2 more in this one. Jimmy, I'll start with you. Okay, go ahead.
I know you're Jim. I have to address one YouTube comment.
Here he goes.
He got me. I took the bait.
He's triggered. So, Charlie's triggered, everybody. He's triggered.
Kucher Criminal comes out and says, Charlie watches too much NFL verticality. What you on about? They needed technical players to break down the U.S. defense. No, they didn't, Kucher Criminal. And this is how I know you don't watch the game. Because Harry Kane was coming in the inside where we expected him to, and they had nobody to stretch the opponent. So Tim Ream and Walker Zimmerman, it was an easy game for them. They didn't have to check their back shoulder. They didn't have to worry about people in behind. Harry Kane isn't going to beat you with his speed. Marcus Rashford, on the other hand, you can't come forward. You have to be honest. And when he stretches you because he makes runs in behind and England has the players to play those balls, guess what? More space opens underneath for your technical players. Your technical players didn't show up today. Your Jude Bellinghams they're Casper the Friendly Ghost. They were non-existent. So that's your technical players means nothing if you have no space to be technical. You needed space. So there's your answer, Criminal.
I don't want to answer your question, Heath. I want Charlie to answer.
Jimmy, I just eloquently asked this whole question about being critical, and Charlie's just fighting people in the comments again.
Charlie won. YouTube comments 0. That's
these English fans.
We need to set up the screen, Jimmy, where it's you and I sometimes, and then Charlie just pops off to the side, and it's just him and his laptop, just fighting people back in the comments for a bit.
Hey, mate, these fans, they get me mad, bruv. They get me mad. I'm livid. But now, now. It's all about America. It's the States, man. The Yanks.
Now Charlie's Jamaican. He's going all kinds of accents right now, Jimmy. He's an English yard boy. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I think there's things that we did well in this game that we maybe didn't do as well against Wales. So I like that we're being a little bit more fluid. We're trying to solve problems in game and not always having to wait until halftime or afterwards when we get some more coaching instruction to make that happen. Players are solving plays on the field. And I reference a point where Harry Maguire was winning every single corner. And finally, Weston McKennie and a couple of the other guys decided, I'm just going to go screen Harry Maguire, and then he can't jump and win every single header because he's zoning in front of Jordan Pickford. And Christian Pulisic was actually dropping some dimes in for set pieces until the last one. Why did he play short to Gio Ryna? I didn't even want to get on. I mean, it's just going to trigger me all over again. Anyway, so on that particular play,
they conceded. They just wanted. They wanted to take the point. They didn't want to take the risk.
I don't know. But those are the little things, right? And Weston McKennie obviously had a glorious chance in the first half that 9 out of 10 times he at least gets it on frame, and he gave a souvenir to somebody behind the goal. But that's to your point, Heath. Yes, there's going to have to be some individual moments of brilliance where people are going to have to take on that responsibility. And like Timo Weah did against Wales, you get yourself in that spot and you got to finish it. You can't be casual. You can't be hoping. You got to make sure that you're going to do it and you have the confidence in that moment to make it happen. Because I don't know how many good looks we're going to get against Iran. I think they're well coached with Carlos Queiroz. If you look at their World Cup qualifying campaign, they only gave up 4 goals in 10 games. And that's the version we saw today against Wales, who didn't really look up for it at all. And I can't, when I watch Wales play, just a sidebar, those guys haven't been in a World Cup for 64 years, and some of them are walking around. I'm like, what is even happening? I know it's hot. And you guys like they look spent. I know you like the vacation in this area of the world and not actually run around, but it's unreal. So Iran's going to be very difficult. And you're right. We're going to have to take our chances because I think they're going to be few and far between.
Well, and Charlie, speaking of that, and again, we're going to give a full preview here in the next couple of days, so make sure everybody keeps an eye out for that. We'll do it live, and we'll also be available on demand, so don't miss out on that. But thinking about the way in which we played against England, is that and I know you need time to digest and look at the Iran game, but seeing both matches today, do you think the U.S. approaches the match the same way, knowing that Iran is going to sit deeper, they're going to give up probably some of that possession, probably bait you?
You don't know that. You don't know. I would guess that to sit back deeper because today a lot of Iranians were saying, "I wish we played that way against England. We didn't sit back and we gave them too much respect." They might come out and really play. And I think the only benefit from today's match is Sardar Azmoun. I think his calf is not good. I don't think he'll be able to really play against the United States.
Did you see him running around when they won? The calf looked pretty good.
I don't know. I don't think he'll be fit.
I hope he doesn't play.
But in saying that, I think the US have to come out with the same mentality. We need to beat them. We need to be aggressive. There's no hesitation here. We got to be just like we did in the first half against Wales, and just like we did for the majority of the match against England. Go at them. Go. Trust in Tyler Adams to lead, because Tyler Adams, the way he led, oh boy. I mean, we got a legit captain for the next 8-10 years. I mean, this kid is an absolute beast. Shut down everybody on that England side. So I'm hyped. I think today gave me a lot of confidence moving forward, not only against Iran, just in general with this group. And now it's just executing. They got that golden opportunity. It didn't come from them now. It came from Weston McKennie. And I thought also Christian Pulisic had a lot of instances where he was 1v1. He's running at the back line. He was in open space. It didn't seem like he was checking too deep, which I loved. He stayed high, and that changed the game for Christian.
Jimmy,
I wonder.
Let me ask you this:
which version? Yeah, shoot.
Yeah, what I was going to ask you is, it's very easy to look at this game because we played against England in the context of a World Cup and say, on our day we can go after England, right? Is this a day where we are on our day, or is this what you think that this team is tapped into to what I think is the level they know they're capable of and haven't been able to find it? I think those are two very different things, right? On our day is hard to replicate, right? That's 8s and 9s from everybody. But this was a consistent performance. I go back to around the 24th minute where Weston McKennie drove the ball up the field, and he played it out wide. It got Timo Weah involved. It got Tyler Adams involved. It got 2 or 3 other players involved where they all kind of, their bodies just settled in, and you could just see this different body language of them where they're like, oh, you want to play with us? We'll play with you. And it just changed everything. Do you think that is the realization of what this team has? Or do you think we were just kind of lights out in a lot of ways tonight? Because I feel those are different, approaching this last game.
They are different. And I think that's an important distinction. I really loved, and I said it at the beginning, I loved our commitment to get forward, the commitment to get numbers in the box, the commitment to do something positive. I don't know what was said or if it came from Gregg, or I assume it came from Gregg in some capacity of how they could hurt England and how they could pin some of their better attacking players back or their more dangerous players. I thought we did an excellent job of that on both sides of the ball. Again, we limited Jude Bellingham. I thought Mason Mount was pretty invisible. He was Casper the Ghost too, as Charlie likes to say. I thought we did a good job of keeping Luke Shaw and Trippier a little bit pinned back as well. And that was because we had to play on the front foot to make it happen. And I remember maybe in the first minute, 2 minutes, Weston McKennie had a nice sequence out on the sideline with Timo Weah, and we just unlocked England right away. And I think that is important. We need to do the same thing against Iran. Now, what I find interesting about Iran, to your point about them conceding possession to us, Wales, over the last 2 or 3 major tournaments, have on average had 43% possession. They like to sit back and absorb. And Iran forced them to have 60% possession today, which is crazy for Wales. They didn't probably even know what to do with the ball. And I think that Iran will sit back and be really thoughtful about who they attack with and when. And that's going to really.
And Jimmy, they had the goal they had called back, Iran, and the goal, the final goal that they scored. While it wasn't the way that they played, it still came from deep positions where a team is overexposed, they're out of balance, and then they go out and they sort of 2, 3, 4 passes get up to the goal as quick as possible. So even if they don't sit back, that's still where they're most comfortable to create the attacks or the goal scoring opportunities.
It would be really unfortunate, I think, if we did so well to put ourselves in a position where we control our own destiny and then have our hearts broken by Iran, like they did to us in 1998 when we played them in the group stages as well. Now, we weren't going through to the next round of that one. That was an absolute disaster of a World Cup for us. But that's the last experience we have, and they probably still remember when they beat us. So it's a little bit of a revenge match, I guess, in some capacity.